Hey sweet friends, welcome back here to the Wolterman Homestead. I'm Megan and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. I wish you could be sitting here beside me and we could be talking and chatting, but this will have to do, right? So today's video is just kind of something that's been laid on my heart, and it's been something that I've been praying over for a while, and something that I came to like a realization of and broke the strongholds of, and have been really blessed in realizing it. And so I just wanted to share, because maybe you struggle with this too, or maybe you struggle with something similar. So today's video is a devotional video. So the Bible tells us that our words have power. So the words that we speak have power over people and the things that we do. You know, there are really cool science experiments where scientists have, tested music, tested sounds, words on plants, and whether the plant survives or whether it dies type of experiment. And they're really cool if you've never looked at it. And the plants that have negative things spoken over them, and the plants that have evil spoken on them, they die. They shrivel up and they die. And the plants that are praised and spoken to in a positive manner survive, and they thrive, and they do really well. And so I just want to kind of share something as we talk about this today. You know, the Proverbs are just full of life lessons and so many truths. And I just want to read a couple to you. Proverbs 18:21. The tongue has power over life and death. Those who indulge it must eat its fruit. Proverbs 16:24. Pleasant words are like honeycomb, sweet to the taste, and healing for the body. In our house, we kind of have this phrase of, is what you're saying right now sweet like honey, or is it a little gross like trash juice? You know, whenever you take out the trash and you got some funk in the bottom of the trash can, is that what your words are like? And it's just a beautiful analogy and a beautiful image of what our words can be like to ourselves and towards others. I am a twin. And, if you have siblings, you kind of know that sometimes you compare yourself to them. And my twin sister is a beautiful writer, and she's beautiful with poetry and just the way that she speaks and the things that she writes. And even as young kids, like, she used to write big long chapter books. And where I was diagnosed with dyslexia, I had a stumbling block kind of placed in front of me as a kid. And I always compared myself to her with the words that she wrote and the things that she said. And I always wanted to be better and to do better. And so my entire life, I cursed myself. And I didn't realize it until we moved here. I didn't realize that the lies that I was speaking to myself really put a number on me and my self-esteem and who I was. And God helped me break those strongholds and helped me see the truth. So when we moved, I had a really beautiful conversation with my best friend, and we've been friends for years. And she asked me, she said, Megan, where did you decide and when did you decide that you were horrible with words? And she smiled and she said, because you're beautiful when it comes to what you say and how you speak. And it really just made me think. And I realized that I had been cursing myself with saying I'm not good with words, or I can't speak, or I'm not good with these things. And so I started taking it to God. And I started laying it at his feet. And I started saying, God, help me to be better with words. I said, Abba, you gave me a voice and you gave me a mouth to speak. Help me to become better at speaking. Help me to become better with words. And how he answered those prayers. I have to laugh because I am an individual who I feel a lot of emotion and I will cry at the drop of a hat. And so to think back, it's beautiful. I helped kind of start a beautiful prayer group, and each week we would join together as ladies and we would pray for one another. And I remember when I first started praying, I would say, I'm not very good with words. I'm not very good at prayer. And that changed. And, if you know me, if you see me out and about, reach out, I'll pray with you. And the way and the growth of my prayer walk has been beautiful. And, I will wear it with pride of I am a prayer warrior. And I am a prayer warrior because I broke that stronghold of I'm not good enough or I can't. And then God laid it on my heart to start writing blogs. Writing a blog, it takes a lot of work and it requires words. That thing that I always said I wasn't good at, I'm now doing. And then the conferences started knocking on our door to the Indiana Homesteading Conference, which we've spoken at twice, and the Patriot Homesteading Conference that we spoke at in April, and we'll be there again next spring, and the Celebrating the Harvest event. And we get the opportunity to get in front of people and to speak and to share, like right now I'm sharing with you. And it is beautiful to overcome the strongholds and overcome the stumbling blocks that we place on ourselves. So my question for you today, and the whole point of all of this, is what stumbling blocks are you putting on yourself? What are you speaking over yourself? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself like me, I can't write? I can't, have you ever wanted to do YouTube and you just don't want to? Being a part of this homesteading community, we meet a lot of people that, want to create content but are afraid to. Or, do you not find yourself beautiful or handsome? Do you have problems with your weight and you see yourself in a negative light? What is it that you speak over yourself? And how can you change what you say about yourself to empower yourself and to break those strongholds? Because I can tell you from my experience, when we take whatever that is and we lay it at God's feet and we say, Abba, help. Father, help me do better and help me break this stronghold. He shows up. And it kind of turns into this thing called refinement. And refinement is hard. And it often sucks. There is a beautiful story of the silversmith, and the Bible talks about silver being refined. And the story of a silversmith is, how do you know that silver is refined? And it goes back to we are the silver, and the silversmith is God. And silver has to be refined through fire and pressure and all of these things to be melted and molded and shaped. And how do you know that silver is done being refined? When it bears the image of the silversmith. So when we bear God's image. So in those seasons of struggle, there's a reason. And we get to decide if we're going to look at the negative aspects of it or if we're going to look for those blessings. Learning how to speak life over yourself is one of those things, because it becomes a default of I'm not good enough, or I can't. But if you change that around, I can. I am able. How will your day change? How will your week change? How will your month, your year? How will your thoughts on yourself, your perspective on who you are change? When we first moved in, I wrote with a dry erase marker on our mirrors of something along the lines of, I am a beautiful, and I put /handsome so that when Dylan read it, he would think of himself, but beautiful, handsome child of God who was made for his purpose, and he has a plan for my life, and I put my trust in him. And I would read that every time I'd go to the bathroom, wash my hands, anytime I would see it, I'd read that over myself and I'd think about it. And I'd take 2-3 minutes to pray over it. So it's very easy to speak curses over ourselves. It's very easy to speak blessings over ourselves. So in all of this, my question is, what are you speaking over yourself? How are you treating yourself? Could you do it better? Because you deserve love too. And love it can take so many different shapes and forms. You know, for me, I didn't love myself for my voice. And I didn't think I was good enough. But God, He had different plans for my life, for our lives. And I just smile because I have got to meet so many beautiful people. Because I declared not today. Because I declared I am good enough. And I can speak. And I am good with words. I pray that you have a beautiful and blessed day. Feel free to drop a comment down below over some strongholds that you are identifying and that you are working on breaking. Because when you lay it at God's feet, He can take it and He can do beautiful things with it. There's always an inbox, WoltermanHomestead@gmail.com, if you ever need a message or a prayer. I pray that the Lord blesses you and keeps you, that His face shine upon you, and that He gives you His shalom. Till next time.